Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a Thursday morning of the MOP. That's right, the Moose Opinion Project, aka the MOP. You can also see my other videos on YouTube. Well, welcome to the MOP on a Thursday morning, cloudy, overcast. 28 degrees already, though, so you can't beat that. It's already warm. Now we're talking some freezing rain, possibly, or drizzle. But the title, the goal is pissing people off. I have read that more than once, twice, 3 times, 100 times on different posts that if liberals are pissed, congratulations, President Trump is doing his job. That's the goal? Is that your goal on your side as the Republican Party, the conservative side? By the way, he's also pissed quite a few of the conservatives off, so he must be really doing his job. So if that's the goal, I would have to say your education is about that big. Or you're under a rock. Our goal should not be, hey, we're doing our job if we piss off half of the country. Our goal should be to work together and try to make life better and fundamentally better for more people. By the way, we lost a great BMXer. I grew up watching him, Dave. It was phenomenal to watch ride a BMX bike. Lost him to suicide. From wrecks, crashes, everything else they call damage to his head. Kind of like Junior Seau and a few others in the NFL. BMX is no different. You're going to see it in probably motocross racers and things like that. Mental health. And this is where I'm coming now to. Is if we are pissing people off and we're considering as a country that's doing our job, then we are failing drastically. Drastically. The United States of America. Mental health in this country is probably at an all-time low. And the best part is that a lot of people don't seem to care because they put their smiley, laughy emojis on shit. But then you hear the people that talk and you go, holy Christ, they're stupid. I cannot believe that much has gone down the wayside. And I would probably guess some people would hear this and go, oh, he's talking about me. If that's the case and it's affecting you, and you're going, son of a bitch, I'm going to talk to him next time, and blah, 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 then it's probably you too. If you are excited about people being pissed off, and then you think that is a great thing, you are a big part of the problem. Because you are so far right, it's not even funny. That you do not give 2 shits about people in general. That you have put half of this country in a barrel, calling them libtards, liberals, dumb whatever you want to call them. See, that's the problem. As soon as you step over that line and you don't care about that people are upset or pissed off, that, he's doing the right thing. And you're defending a guy that obviously has been involved in some pictures with younger girls and things. And if you think that's okay, and you think of all the money he's made while he's in office, if that's okay, but yet because he's pissing off people, especially liberals, you're ecstatic. And you complain because liberals are supposedly baby killers. So if you're a baby killer, that's a problem. However, if you seduce or assault young girls that are 17 to 15, that's not a big deal. Obviously, probably have assaulted women in your life, probably have punched women, slapped women, whatever. See, the funny thing is when you post online, people can CCAP your name in Wisconsin and see your charges. And if you have pages of charges from assault, from whatever it may be, in my mind, your opinion means diddly shit anyway. If you have screwed people out of money, if you have assaulted people, if you have went to certain things and beat people up, I could give two shits what you think. Here's what I struggle with is you had a gentleman that took a job, was doing a very good job for the community, but he got let go because he had a felon at the age of 15. He murdered somebody, so he stepped down from his job. Yet we have somebody that has multiple felonies as president of this country. But yet the 15-year-old that did it way back when and has been remorseful, done everything else, and was doing really good at his job, had to step down because of that felony. But yeah, we've got a felony that gives two shits about anything, especially remorse or anything else. You haven't heard one person come forward to say, you know what, this should have never happened to the 40 ladies. Did they all lie? Are they all full of shit? See, that's another thing. I've said this numerous times when we've been in meetings before, at sales meetings or whatever else. If a person comes to you and it's nationwide of, they call bitching that, hey, you sold me saying this is bumper to bumper and yada yada, and that's how they sold it. And then the person says, I never said that. If you have 20 or 30 people calling you, telling you that story, and that's how it was sold, that's how it was sold. I guarantee it. I guarantee those words were used because if you said something in a kindergarten class that said, hey, I want to teach you something today that the sky is gray or the sky is brown, and then all of a sudden they go home and the principal gets called and says, hey, why is your teacher teaching our kids the sky is brown? If that principal says, well, I guarantee you that didn't happen, but yet you get calls from multiple people saying, hey, your teacher's teaching our kids that the sky is brown, most likely the teacher is teaching that the sky is brown. But because you're so stuck in your little cocoon on the right side, you're afraid to admit of the shit going wrong. You want to just say, well, he's pissing the liberals off, so congratulations, you're doing a hell of a job, President Trump, nice job. Instead of looking actually at statistics, looking at things that they are doing in this country. You just want to continue to berate people, belittle people, because that's all you've done all your life. That's how you've succeeded in your life. I wouldn't call you a success. I would call you a scumbag, and I would call you a scam artist, because you are doing it not out of care and compassion. See, when we start celebrating that there are so many people pissed off and you're thinking they're doing the job, that is where we have a problem. That's where the Alzheimer's Day at the Capitol the other day was an absolute relief, because we heard both sides. I had pictures with both sides that were listening to something to make a difference that has no political affiliation, religion affiliation, whatever it may be. There's no affiliation. Alzheimer's and dementia has none of that, nor does Alzheimer's or dementia care. It is going to affect people one way or the other. And you can be pissed off about immunizations or doing that, but we are going to see a major outbreak of measles again, and everybody's going to have their laughing emojis and ha 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 until it affects your family. And until it affects your family, see, a lot of people don't know or don't understand Alzheimer's and dementia because it hasn't affected their family. They just remember a grandpa that, oh yeah, he used to say the same story over and over. They used to say this over and over, or he used to do that. Until you become a caregiver of someone you love, you don't realize how bad that disease is. It's the same principles. You have to have care and compassion for right side, left side, independence. And that is what has been lost. We are all about division. We are all about separating powers, because if you separate the two powers to where they are fighting amongst each other, they are a whole lot weaker than they are together. And the Republican Party is going to start seeing that too. You're going to have two parties involved. You have the MAGA, and then you have your actual conservative Republicans that built that party. And the MAGAs are going to just think that that's how it's supposed to be. And you're going to watch your party disintegrate because you're not together anymore. But you would much rather be happy that people are being pissed off at each other and that you can call people names and you can do all of that. I have friends that are Republicans. I have friends that are Democrats. I have friends that are Republicans and can't stand what's going on currently because the policies that they became Republicans on are no longer. They are no longer what they truly valued. See, the whole Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, that kind of got thrown out the window now in Minnesota when they said, well, you can't do that. Now you're a criminal if you carry a gun. No, Chris, you misinterpreted what they said. No, I heard. And what they are justifying is wrong. They killed 2 innocent people that shouldn't be dead today. And they've killed a whole lot more. But you remember that one girl that got raped? Yeah, she was murdered by somebody that, yes, was a criminal. So you can't compare them. We had 2 innocent people died from law enforcement that shouldn't be dead. Should she have died? No. But there needs to be, I'm guarantee the killer of her would go to justice quicker than what we're going to see out of the ones that killed the people in Minnesota. That's the problem. We are running ramshot all over. And until it all gets reeled back in, you're going to see more mental health. You're going to see more mental health issues. You're going to see shortages in fields that we don't need shortages in. Law enforcement, nursing. But most of the people that I've seen bitching about that don't like law enforcement either. They don't respect law enforcement. They make up the stories about law enforcement, about how abusive they are, how power hungry they are, all of that. It's a pretty sad situation. We need people that are going to unify our country. Not single out the immigrants, not single out the people that we're trying to build better things here and make life better. Yeah, go after the ones that are awful, terrible criminals. But we have those people that are citizens of this country as well that are just as awful, just as cruel. And you know what happens is until there is actually people held accountable for Epstein Island, because I'm guaranteeing there's probably shit that happened. I believe the 40 women over I believe anybody in politics, I'll tell you that. And I've seen enough pictures to go, those girls seem awfully young to be at a island. I don't see parents around. I don't see those kind of people around that are supposed to be taking care of your 17, 16-year-old girls. That's the problem, folks. And I got pissed off more that I saw comments the last couple days about, oh, congratulations, we pissed off more liberals and the president's doing his job. When's the last policies that you saw that were passed to help this country? When were the last things that were passed to help the middle class to lower class? The senior citizens, the veterans. When are we going to start seeing that? When are we going to see a health care plan that everybody argues about that needs to change? Republicans have all the power right now. When are we going to see a plan? See, none of you care about that. None of you give two craps about that if you're on the right side. I can lump you all together too, and then you get mad and you go, well, I do, but, then you may want to tone down the rhetoric of the people that feel that pissing liberals off is right. See, that's the thing you don't want to argue about. You don't want to argue about when are the last things that were passed to make this country better. Instead of the next $5 million coin to give you, or badge or whatever, to give you your citizenship here. Ask Nicki Minaj about that. It was just a big publicity stunt for her. See, that's when you start having like almost reality TV. Look at how many TV personality people we've hired. And why is that? That are hired and working in the Capitol. Because they're able to lie. They're able to BS their way through with straight faces. They've talked about national problems with a straight face. We've hired people from a channel that had to pay huge money for lying on national TV, and they're working for us. It's a pretty sad state of affairs. So, with that said, because my brain gets tired, I took a nap yesterday. That's the other thing and people call me an orphan babe. I talk about my mom's death too much, or I talk about this too much. Or that I'm a attention drama queen. Actually, I'm a king because queens are girls. Or actually, it was called an attention whore, which never understood that statement either. Because that's easier, again, to call names than to approach somebody personally and go face to face and say it to them. It's easier to talk behind their back. That's why I'm here. You see my face, you see my name, you know where I'm from, and I make my statements very clear. I don't hide behind anything. A lot of times my point bluntness gets me in trouble because I'm not sometimes overly political correct. But I'm tired of people that are posting about, oh, you're just a liberal. No, see, I'm a U.S. citizen that wants the best for our vets, the best for our senior citizens, the best for our disabled citizens, and yes, the best for immigrants that come trying to find a better life, that are going to make this place better, because we are going to run out of people that do the jobs they do. So with that said, have a great day. Try to make somebody's life better today. Bless somebody today the best you can. And I'm not saying financially or anything else, but if you know somebody is struggling, or if you know, just check in on somebody and say, hey, are you doing okay? Because a lot of people need that these days because of all the negativity that goes on every day with the lack of accountability. We need more accountability and things for actually held up to and followed through on. So, have a great day. Take time to bless somebody today. Thanks for tuning into the MOP. Again, I've got 360 some videos on YouTube. Take your time. If you need to listen to something, it's just one big guy rambling. That's all it is. But it helps me clear my head. Talk to you later. We will see you tomorrow morning. Bowling league tonight. I'll report tomorrow morning on how that goes, and then whatever else may come across the table or my mind. Talk to you tomorrow.